Welcome back everyone, and let's see what we got up to this week. Well, the first thing was we tried to get on top of some of the weeds, the little baby mimosas growing around the solar panels. It's just a simple pluck and leave job. Another thing we did was we cleared some of the weeds around the veg patch and extended the growing space a little bit because we will be planting some baby watermelon plants. Now, you may remember from an early episode, this mimosa was basically cleared from where the solar panels currently are, and it was always intended for them to go down to the dead hedge. We've just not really had the time to pull them down yet because the two are on two opposite ends of the farm essentially. So with us intending to do a little bit of work in the coming weeks over there, it was time to finally drag those down. Now, what followed was basically more mimosa clearing around the top entrance to the farm. We're going to be doing a little bit of digging, more on that in about a week or two. Some friends of ours agreed to lend us their little digger, and that will make our life a lot easier with what we've got planned, so stay tuned for that. If you're wondering how quickly mimosa's growing, well, here's a very nice example for you. Obviously you can see that it's not all growing at the same pace, but this will have been cut down to ground level to nothing in about March, April time, and as you saw there, it's about 1.5 meters tall already. Once we cleared the entrance of the mimosa, then, as you can probably guess, yes, all of this went down to the dead hedge and fed the hedge. Okay, now moving on to the next thing. Now, originally I was hoping to put our water tank where I'm standing right now. However, having thought about it a little bit more, we decided that it would actually probably cast a little bit too much shadow on the solar panels. So we decided to reconsider the positioning of that, and we decided to put it there, just to the side of it. Now, originally I wasn't very fond of that location because it's clearly visible from the bottom of the land. However, we have both agreed that we will be able to disguise that tank pretty well considering what will be in that area. So we decided to just put it there and work with it later. This tank will provide water to the top barn eventually once that's renovated, and more in the nearer future, hopefully, the lower barn. As you can probably tell, it was a very good week for the dead hedge. Now, with us expecting to, well, hoping to put the water tank up there in the next few weeks, we do need to prepare the space for it. And even though the tank's not going to be going where I'm clearing now, this is where the sand, gravel and cement, which we will use to then build that concrete pad, are going to be going. And also, whilst I was clearing the space for it, obviously there's a lot of dead twigs and little branches, Joe came up with the idea of using them as a bit of a mulch. Now obviously it's not mulch in the conventional sense, but because it's just too chunky, however it does provide some protection and shade to basically the ground around the little trees at the bottom there, and it does seem to be helping to keep the moisture up quite well so far. Whilst I was clearing at the top of the farm, Jo decided that she wanted to clear a little bit around the bottom well where the vegetable patch is. Now, what she started to discover quite early on is that there's actually a hidden terrace behind all the bramble and bushes that were basically there. And, well, she started clearing it. Now, brambles are a pretty annoying thing to move because they sort of stick together, but sometimes they don't stick the way you want them to, and they don't really behave, and they spring up, and they're just a pain to work with. So the way you can see me trying to get them on the wheelbarrow now wasn't, well, it sort of worked, but it just took way longer than I would have liked, and it was just a pain to work with. So I later came up with a different idea and a different way of loading them up on the wheelbarrow, which is much better. If you lay the wheelbarrow on its side, in front or to the side of where your brambles are, then use a rake to rake the brambles and all that stuff into the wheelbarrow, and then just pull the wheelbarrow up with the rake. Everything's a lot easier and it stays in the wheelbarrow a lot better than you can just pat it down and you're good to go. So there you go, there's a life hack for you. And as you can see, our clothes are now different, and that's because we recorded this clip and then the camera decided to just focus on leaves and stuff, so we have to redo it. So, but anyway, as you can see behind us, we have now cleared the terrace, the hidden terrace, which we didn't know was there because it was all covered, including this sort of lower wall that was all covered in brambles. If you've seen the previous videos, you probably will have seen snippets of it in the background here and there. I mean, to start off with, this entire well was covered in brambles up to where the camera is, basically, so you couldn't get anywhere near it, let alone know that there's anything of any interest back there. So, and I mean, what you started, the whole reason for it was because you wanted to clear around the well, not so much to go in that direction.
No, I mean, obviously when we turned this into the veg patch, we needed access to the well, so I started clearing the bramble in front of the well, and then because it's a nice shady spot, we sat down here, which led to me wanting to weed that wall to get us into more shade. And then we need to clear the tree that's climbing through the, what's that, through the wheel? through the mechanism of the well,
over there,
because the buckets are metal and they're currently sat in the water
and rusting away.
and they're rusting away in the water, so we want to get those out. So my thought process was we'll clear up the side of the well to gain access to that wheel, to clear the tree out of it, and yeah, discovered a whole new terrace. So that came as a little bit of a surprise to I think both of us, didn't it?
Lovely little bonus.
Yeah, I don't know what it was used for before. There are grapevines on there, so I think at one point it was used to grow grapevines.
And also because it's slightly raised, and we know that this part of the farm floods in winter.
Well, we know that the other side of the wall floods in winter, so we have to assume that this side floods as well to a certain degree.
So maybe they had something over there that couldn't flood, basically, but we'll see. We need to observe it because the 4G camera's on the other side of this wall.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly what happens down here, but we suspect it's going to be very similar to what happens on the other side. And you already have a pretty good idea of what you want
I do. I really do. So we could buy all of our plants as plugs from the market, and they're a really reasonable price, generally 10 plugs for €1. But we like, I'm a horticulturalist, we like to grow from seed, and you'll get a lot more for your money from seed. Some friends of ours have already got some single glazed windows, second hand, that they don't have a use for. So they've said we can have them. So I think here we're going to create a greenhouse of sorts for our seed raising, and also maybe a place for the cactus that I have to live over winter. So that's the big plan. The seeds are going to be there short term. They probably won't be there in the height of summer. It's going to be late spring, I imagine, when we'll be growing seeds. So we won't need access when the farm is potentially flooded down here, because I think that was December, January.
Yeah,
so it only really flooded for 24 hours, so even if it does, it's not the end of the world. But it's right next to the well so that we can water easily. It's in a shadier spot, so they're not going to get scorched by the sun. What else? It's raised enough so it won't get wet. And yeah, it's going to be a good little spot right next to the water so that we can raise them as seed, prick them out and move them on into the actual garden itself. So it should work really, really well.
Yeah, nice little bonus, this space.
Yeah.
Right, so anyway, this has been probably one of the shortest episodes we've had in a long time, but there's stuff coming up, and every now and then you just need to do a bit of tidying up, which is essentially what this week was all about.
It was.
The dead hedge is growing nicely with all the mimosa we've taken down and pulled all the way down here. But yeah, things are moving forward. Next week we've got a friend coming over, so we'll do something different. And the week after, hopefully if things go well, we're going to be doing some serious digging.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. But anyway, I'm not going to blab on too much. Thanks for watching if you have this far, and we'll see you next week. See you on Monday.
See you later.
Bye.